Welcome to India's leading breeding operation. Usha is the only 100% commercial and the most successful stud in India for the last 4 decades. Already winner of more than 300 Group 1s, Usha was founded in 1972 by the legendary Major P.K. Mehra and has been run successfully since 1998 by his daughter Amita Mehra. Usha has a broodmare strength of 90 mares spread over 3 stud farms in Haryana and in Delhi. It is the home of the sensational young sire Multidimensional, who produced in March 2014 Usha's 7 homebred Group 1 winners. Alan Dare, the winner of the India Invitation, and Amelia, who won the Major P.K. Mehra Super Mile, amongst others.
I watched him race and I studied his pedigree, and I found there were a lot of interesting nicks with him and Razin. I have a lot of 60 Razin mares, and I found that Multidimensional's pedigree with Dane Hill, Northern Dancer, Danzig, Northern Dancer, and Razin is a direct son of Northern Dancer. There seemed to be a great nick. Also, I have Steinbeck, a second stallion, lots of mares by Steinbeck, who's by Mr. Prospector. And Multidimensional had both blood in his pedigree. He, on the top side, sire side, he has Northern Dancer, and on the bottom side, his 4th dam is a half-sister to Mr. Prospector. So I found that the nick with my fillies was amazing, and he was a beautifully conformed, absolute character of a horse, something that made me feel that he had a lot of presence and that extra special quality. And I think he is the only stallion ever to stand in India that has 8 individual classic winners to his credit in the first season.
Multidimensional was sent for training to Sir Henry Cecil by his breeders, the Niarchos family. Multidimensional conquered France at 3-year-old in the Prix Guillaume d'Ornano at Group 2 over 10 furlongs in Deauville.
Multidimensional revient avec Carlotamix alors que Sudan est battu à la corde. Le 5, Barasset se défend très bien. 150 mètres du poteau avec Maurice de Deauville qui est attaqué par Multidimensional. Kashgai est là avec Barasset qui se défend bien à la corde devant Carlotamix. Le passage du poteau avec le 6, Multidimensional qui s'impose.
Despite a fracture and almost a full year away from the track, he was able to come back to top level, winning the Rose of Lancaster Stakes, Group 3 at Haydock.
They run down towards the final furlong. Multidimensional trying to fend off the attentions of Bahia Breeze. Multidimensional just hanging over towards the stand rail. Must be a length and a half clear of Bahia Breeze second. 3 or 4 lengths to Spanish Moon and Flying Clarets. Multidimensional staying on in front of Bahia Breeze. Multidimensional will take the Rose of Lancaster.
Also 4th in the Irish Champion Stakes, less than 2 lengths behind New Approach. Multidimensional proved by his successful comeback that he had a very strong temperament, also a real fighting spirit, as well as a good turn of foot. Multidimensional was crowned Champion Freshman Sire and Champion First Crop Sire. With his first progeny born in 2010, he produced winners of 3 Group 1 races in the summer 2013. Fillies Trial Stakes, Colt Trial Stakes and the Summer Bangalore Derby. Also 6 more Group 1 wins in the winter season. Thanks to Amelia and Alan Dare, Multidimensional was first and second in the Indian Derby, as well as in the Calcutta Derby, including winning the Hyderabad and Bangalore Oaks and other derbies.
Cantering home to victory. It's Snowdrift who wins the Calcutta Everready Derby Stakes in great style for Martisia.
3 weeks later, Alan Dare and Starry Eyes made a 1-2 in India's biggest contest, the Indian Derby, beating Mumbai all-time track record. The same Alan Dare won a new Group 1 in March, the famous Invitation Cup, which was held at Hyderabad in 2014. It was a glorious day for Multidimensional. He triumphed with his daughter Amelia, the Fillies Champion Stakes winner in the Major P.K. Mehra Super Cup Mile, Grade 1, a race named in the honour of Amita Mehra's late father.
But Amelia wins the Super Mile!
Multidimensional's daughters are very successful, as well as the colts. On the classic distance, Striking won the Calcutta Oaks. This day she beat Artesia, another multidimensional filly who earned her glory on the same racetrack in the Calcutta 1000 Guineas.
But it's going to be the outstation challenger, Striking by about a length here from the fast finishing Artesia, but Striking wins it.
It's these champions that keep Usha Stud at the top level. Usha has won the all-time Indian record of breeding 13 Indian Derby winners, the highest number any farm has bred in the world. Out of the 13 Indian Derbies, 7 were won when Amita was managing the stud farm. Usha's tally stands at more than 305 classic winners, which it has produced in the shortest time in Indian turf history.
Grey Gaston. It was by Fortino, and he was a French horse. And Grey Gaston produced the first foal that my father bred by himself, called Manitou. Manitou won the Indian Derby by 10 lengths. No horse till date has ever won the Indian Derby by 10 lengths. And that's how my father started the farm. And he went from success to success to success. And from starting in a home, in a small bungalow with large garden and stables, he built the Usha Stud farm, which is now over 400 acres of land.
Amita Meera studied in Ireland at the National Stud, receiving the gold medal for her thesis, How to Select a Stallion, and in the United States at Lexington, Kentucky. She studied equine nutrition with the famous Joe Pagan of Kerr. She started her career at Usha in 1992, training with her father. Amita chose the champion stallion Multidimensional and put all her efforts into developing the best broodmare band in India. Her sales policy is transparent, and she puts each and every horse up for sale to whomsoever wishes to purchase them.
All my horses are for sale. This is probably the only stud farm in India where everything is for sale, so everybody feels they have a fair chance to buy a top horse from here. We have a very special tradition in Usha. We have a horse darshan, a horse parade, every day in all the 3 locations of the stud farm. Every horse is brought to the pavilion and is shown one by our staff. And I am there, my managers are there, or my vets are there, my farrier is present, the feedman is present. Everybody sits under either a tree or a pavilion, and each horse is brought as a parade. And the horse looks at me, I look at the horse. So this is a practice that in today's age is almost unheard of because people don't have the staff to bring them. But we continue that, and probably we're the only stud farm in the world, I would say, certainly in India, that is doing that.
In order to work on the broodmare lines over generations, Usha leases 10 to 15 of their best fillies for their racing career. When retiring to stud, the farm trades one of the broodmare's first 2-year-olds to the leaser. The most recent example is Moonlight Romance, the only filly in history to have won 3 classics: Bangalore Derby, the Indian Derby and the Invitation Cup in a row. Here with her first filly by Multidimensional, Usha also owns top broodmare like Yana, Ambrosia and Fond Fantasy, with a filly by Multidimensional. All those 3 mares are by Ratseen. Also there is the imported Darwia by the US top sire Elusive Quality. To maintain the highest level of services, Usha employs a large team, also produces its own feed, including lucerne. The Gnostic Centre is the passion of Amita's life. There she practices 3 principles of true education as envisaged by Sri Aurobindo. She spends time in quiet reflection and meditation. The centre has a nursery school and offers many programs and facilities to the community at large. It is located within the stud farm.
The traditions of Indian spirituality and the horse are synthesized and welded together in a way to transform the kind of horse we produce and to transform our farm.